MRC, Multi-Racing Championship, was a pretty early arcade racer for the N64. It sort of combines off-road racing with street racing. All the tracks have multiple forks in the road, with one choice being primarily off-road and the other choice being primarily on-road. Some cars are more suitable for driving off-road, and vice versa. Cars can also be tweaked to change their performance on such terrain. Car customization isn't too in-depth here, but it can make a noticeable difference, so it's worth messing with. The game's controls are very basic. There's not much to it besides accelerate, brake, and steer. The overall feel of the game is not amazing, but you can get used to it. It can really vary a lot based on what car you pick. I found that some cars almost never lose grip on pavement when the tires are set to road settings, and some cars don't seem to ever lose grip on any surface, and other cars seem to control like crap on every surface. The game can be fun with a little bit of patience, but there are a few annoyances I have. For one, the physics are kind of wonky, especially when it comes to collisions. Sometimes nudging a wall just sort of pops your car into the air for some reason, making you lose a lot of time. The analog stick gives you a good level of sensitivity with steering, but with many cars it's extremely easy to lose your grip, and sliding around corners never really felt natural to me. Instead, I just chose to use cars with high grip settings and try to avoid sliding as much as possible. The game has a rally-style announcer that tells you what's coming up ahead, but he's not the most reliable guy out there. There were times when he told me it was a straight course ahead and that I should go fast, but in reality there was a narrow and curvy section ahead. Another strange thing is that if you turn it on without a controller pack inserted, it'll tell you that you won't be able to save, but this doesn't seem to be true, because for me it saved all my progress and best times to the cartridge itself just fine. The track design in this game is okay, but there are only 3 courses in the game. To be fair, this isn't really any less than many other arcade racers from the time, like Ridge Racer or Daytona USA, but 3 tracks is not much, and they're not the kind of tracks that I'd want to play over and over again. You can unlock mirrored versions of them, but these don't really count as new tracks. This game is pretty light on content overall. Once you win a race on each of the 3 tracks, you get to unlock a couple new cars by racing against them on all 3 tracks. And that's pretty much it outside of the self-explanatory time trial and 2-player modes. There really isn't a whole lot to do in this game. Overall, I think MRC is just okay. It doesn't play poorly, but it doesn't play great either, and the very low amount of content doesn't help. It's the kind of game that might have been worth renting back in the day, but probably not worth buying at full price. These days, I'd only really recommend it to people who are really big fans of arcade racers from this era, and I actually am, so I had some fun playing it, but this will definitely not be my first choice next time I want to play an N64 driving game.